Now let's get to our other local stories. Steve's tracking the latest in Fox 5's continued coverage of a city under siege. Steve.
All right, let's get right into it. D.C. residents are continuing to say enough is enough, voicing fears and frustrations at a town hall meeting with D.C. officials. And Bob is live in Northwest D.C. this morning with how district leaders are responding. We know there's a surge in violent crime in the city. We know homicides are up 30% plus over last year. The big question is, what can you do about it, Bob?
Yeah, well, you know, city officials are proposing solutions with legislation. They're listening to stories of people who have been victimized or are just frightened to be out on the streets or in their homes. Last night, you mentioned there was a town hall hosted by the Ward 1 council member and also D.C.'s new police chief, Pamela Smith. They heard from crime victims who say they're just afraid to go about their daily lives here in the city. We were also talking about solutions. Mayor Bowser is proposing what she calls the Act Now, the Addressing Crime Trends Now legislation. It'll have a first reading today in front of the Subcommittee on Justice and Public Safety with Brooke Pinto. The mayor is proposing to hire more police, to give them more leeway in dealing with suspects, to crack down on juvenile crime, open-air drug markets. As Steve mentioned, crime just seemingly out of control here. This morning, talking to people who live and work in the city, they agree something has to be done.
Really, we're just being too lax on people that are, you know, committing crimes time and time again. So I think we got to do everything we can to combat crime right now. It's scary. It's scary for it's scary for people with dogs. It's really scary for people with kids out there. I mean, it's, you know, the innocent bystanders that could get hit by a gunshot gone astray. I mean, the carjackings, to me, the violent crime is really where, you know, these folks just driving their cars are getting bumped and then somebody, you know, robs their car. You know, auto theft is one thing, but when you're in the car or your kid's in the car or your dog's in the car, I mean, it's pretty scary.
I feel like it's pretty crazy. It's crazy. It doesn't make no sense. Parents need to be a parent. Get your kids. We go to work every day. Don't make sense, but they need something to do. They need something to do. I don't know who can do that, but they need something to do outside of school.
One other part of the mayor's crackdown would be to do something about retail theft here in the city, also addressing carjackings, as you heard Mr. Freeman talk about there, violent crime overall, the homicide rate, juvenile crime. This is all part of what the mayor is trying to do with, Steve, her Act Now legislation. And again, over at the Wilson Building later today, Brooke Pinto and her committee will start looking into this legislation, see what they can do about it.
Yeah, we saw that video of the carjacking, Bob, that happened down at the Wharf. Vehicle thefts up 90% year to year. So obviously a lot of work has to be done. As you say, yep. Some members of the city are doing something to try to put the wheels in motion. But a lot of people still have a lot of questions this morning. Brianna